My friends, let's listen a good music, learn a good recipe, relax with a good music, learn how to cook a nice soup, be on a site for relaxation in a good vacation, like paintings, like museums, like everything what goes with a good life and respect for ourselves and to the other people, of course. YouTube gives enough information to understand the idea of what's going on in society, where we are now, and as we live life which has to be happy, we must prepare everything for it and defend it. So our life will not badly surprise us. We will respect everything and support everything good for us in this life and other people, of course. So we will not have any disappointment, and that's why we learn from the beginning, especially from the beginning, we learn how to perceive everything right, not do mistakes, bad mistakes, especially respect ourselves, always respect ourselves, and love Mother Nature, of course. I am looking for something. I am scrolling and looking for something. When I will find that something, I will click. I saw it on the left side somewhere. This or the other one. Let me see if I did not spoil this selection. I thought I did not click for it. I think it was on the left side, pretty much sure. Alright, let me go from the history then. I think I click, and here I click, which I watched or start watching just several minutes ago, and that was 6 hours ago. But it was 11th of August, right? And now it's already late night, August 12th. All right, let's see what's going on. Let me just started the whole video from the start.
His approval numbers are completely tanking. He is in the lame duck session of his presidency. And I believe, in my opinion, he has committed a ton of crimes, a ton of grifting, a ton of corruption, and a final guardrail is imminent, and those are the midterms. Do we think that this guy is going to be stand up and just take it on the chin? No. All he knows how to do is cheat. This guy has cheated his way to the very top by lying and criming, etc. Here's Trump today talking about how he could declare a national emergency ahead of the midterms. Play the clip.
You declare a national security emergency as the President of the United States. They can't challenge it. It can only be overturned by a 2/3 vote of both houses of Congress. So if you do this in the next month, we will get photo ID, proof of citizenship, and a limit to mail-in ballots. And
Let me just say that stranger things have happened. Okay, I'll leave it at that.
All right, well,
stranger things have happened. He doesn't say, of course, I'm not going to declare a national emergency. Of course, we need to have these elections. Of course, I believe in democracy. Of course, the American people should go vote. He says, let me just say this.
I stop for a moment. You know, if I ever believed him, we talk about Donald Trump, our president now, and it's coming midterm elections, so proof if he can go further with us till the end of his term. And that's what lots of medias going discussing now. And lots of people, American who lives here, feel uncomfortable yet. We not trust, if we ever trust him. This guy having always two face. If one mask does not work, he quickly turn and put another mask. So one thing he promised this, but if we can believe on any of his promises, I have a big doubt. We cannot believe in his promises because we see how the things are going. Nothing is, he does destabilize everything good in this country, destabilize the American people feeling we don't need such a president which bringing more harm and instability than good.
Stranger things have happened. And by the way, in that clip, Kylie, I heard him fart while the guy was interviewing him. And that's just something that goes, I mean, it's reported on some places on the internet, but this guy is just in his, fuck it era of the presidency, which is a really, really, really dangerous place to be because nobody around him tells him the truth. They just enable him and tell him how to cheat. And a prime example of this is the newly sworn in Attorney General, Todd Blanche. He's already gone immediately to work and has started to cover for Donald Trump. This is devastating reporting. Pop this up. Breaking news, this comes from Punchbowl News. DOJ official of legal counsel has issued an opinion that would allow the president to claim executive privilege over communication between him and private advisors. Extends to direct advisors, communication with outside advisors. Big implications if Dems take back the House and start investigating Trump. So the Supreme Court has taught the Republicans that they can do this. In their decision where they gave Trump immunity, they have said, we believe the most incompetent, the most criminal, the most mentally deranged, the most not all there in the head, the most cognitively declined, physically declined president of the United States gets immunity. And so, of course, Todd Blanche there to, number one, help him stay in power, number two, cover for his crimes, and number three, help ensure that they cheat on the midterms. That is why this turnout has to be too big to rig. And all of the bedwetting and hair pulling and hand wringing over on the Democratic side, we have to form a big tent and defeat fascism. That is the number one goal.
What I see, yes, the administration which consists from only men, and such a man which like to win every possible way, no matter how. They are not the best men to win. What they settle is absolutely non-stability, not just in our country, in the whole world. They put in upside down all laws. They just basically ruin the whole constitution. They don't care about constitution. They make it writing their own laws. And this is a bad man world, our administration right now in United States. And as a woman, American citizen, I feel continued to be discriminated by those bad men.
And get this, there's more details coming out of Trump's little stint in the catering cart. So as you know, as we reported this morning, it was leaked from the president's team that he boarded Air Force One, got in a catering cart, switched airplanes. But here's where you just know what a piece of shit this guy is, and all of the people who still continue to unconditionally support him. Pop this up. The people that Trump snuck off the plane appear to be Natalie Harp and Walt Nauta, and he is the valet. And so, of course, Natalie Harp, we all know, is his, like...
I'm afraid our time isn't up yet.
Yo, 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 yo! My taste runs to the unique, yes?
I'm reading the comments while the ad is going there.
Slightest movement could send us offline.
Today's serving of crazy comes with heavy ballistic armor and anger management issues.
Worship girlfriend Stockholm Syndrome situation. It looks like he left Marco Rubio, Scott Bessent, Stephen Miller, Matthew Whitaker, his staff and the press on the original flight. The valet and the human printer over the cabinet is wild. And this is what happens with Trump. If you're a token, you get spent first. Scott Bessent. He will not, when push comes to shove, when investigations rise up, he will never defend you. He will always throw you guys under the bus. He will always put you on a plane that is potentially being targeted by the Iranians. He will never care about your safety. He only cares about your ability to corrupt yourselves to make him more corrupt.
Yeah, he is so... It's so seen, so pretty much visible now, how he will walk over the dead body or over the body, over everybody, over the crowds, absolutely neglecting people's wishes, people's needs. He doesn't care absolutely, but all he needs to be there in the government. I don't know why it's so valuable to be in the government as in such a position like president, being himself, him as a Donald Trump. It's like getting narrow and narrow and less. He probably still can do. He has the people who can believe that they can do a harm and destruction. But I hope, we pray to God that they will be seized and on time with all their harm which they're running, being in the administration of our country.
That is your sole purpose in his regime is to help him be the best criminal he can possibly be. And of course, he's getting roasted all over the internet. The memes are popping up all day today. So let's enjoy a couple of these. Here he is. It says Turkish Delight, and there's Trump in the little catering cart, which we all know he wouldn't fit in, despite saying he has 4% body fat on one of his medical exams, which is a jet stream of bullshit. And then Midas Touch has this one. Here he is with all of his McDonald's and his Diet Coke. And with all of this going on, the Iranians are saying, tough titties, we're not negotiating with you anymore. You're nuts. Completely nuts. We're keeping the strait closed. We're done with you guys. His poll numbers in the low 30s. The progressive wing of the Democratic Party is winning and winning big. And now we all know he is the biggest puss boy on the planet that throws all of the people that lie and commit crimes for him under the bus while he sneaks off in a catering cart. Of course, now he's laser focused on his boyfriend, Zoran Mamdani. In the middle of all of this, this is what he tweets. Pop this up, or truths, as he calls it. Midas Touch reports, Trump lashes out at Mamdani's New York City pied-à-terre tax on wealthy out-of-state buyers of multi-million-dollar homes, calls his opponents radical left jihadists, and says he's looking into whether the federal government can step in to protect property owners from paying it. Donald Trump is only here to service his rich friends, himself first, his family members, and then any of his rich friends that he can keep into the fold, that he can keep from protesting against this form of an authoritarian government. He has to keep it all together. I just want to point out that the data is in from ever since Zoran enacted the pied-à-terre tax, and it has not affected Manhattan real estate sales at all. As it turns out, these billionaires can pay taxes and their life changes zero. They just hand wring and say, we're going to move, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And it's all just a scare tactic because they can absolutely afford it and their lives change zero. But their power diminishes a little bit, as it should. It really should. The wealthy people who have gone to kiss Donald Trump's ass shouldn't be anywhere near power. It's disqualifying that you think you're so smart because you have a lot of money and that's the guy you pick to hitch your wagon to. But we always have to remind these corporations and these people who bent the knee first what they're supporting and what they're supporting.
All right. And that's the main thing she said. But she has to say, Donald Trump for a whole lifetime created through the whatever. He was going like a storm, I guess. Somebody for him, not him, but somebody for him were just paving the road. And all those who kissing his ass, what she just said, it's not just only my words, are those people who are Donald Trump's slaves. It's his so-so corporation, it's his so-so businesses, it's his slaves. That's who would kiss his ass. There are literally zombies, corny, nasty type of zombies, but zombies, slaves, yes. So while he having all those slaves, he feels a power. Well, the main thing we heard, interesting conversation, interesting information, which most of it we knew, she gives it proudly once more. It's a time really to talk out the truth. It's a very important time, folks, because we have to stop the election for this type of people be in the government administration. It's a big crisis, will be extended all over again. Everything good is postponed because Donald Trump declaring his time to be. And what kind of his life we talk about? What kind of life is it? He doesn't care, I guess. And those who are kissing his, one place behind. They are absolutely out of mind people. So something gonna have to be involved in this all crisis in our country, all disaster, and something gonna have to start showing as a better involvement, better movement, something better which every country deserves, because this country having still good people, they don't deserve a bad government. I don't deserve a bad government. Thanks for coming to my blog. With you was Larissa Coughlin. If you want to finish listening this video, you can find it on YouTube.